I understand.
Mr. Mayor, the battery's down in my recorder. Are you ready to go with the two we got in front of us?
Yes, sir. By the clock on the wall, it's 7 p.m. It is April, what the heck?
March 31st.
It is March 31st. Thank you there, Mr. Jones. March 31st, 2023. This is a special call meeting on Friday evening. We have all council members present. We are going to forgo the Pledge of Allegiance. I would say just a very simple invocation, if I may, if you'll bow your heads. Dear Father, please guide us in these decisions that we're about to make so that we might make the right decisions. And in your name we do pray. Amen.
Hang on
Thank you,
a second.
Mr. Mayor.
I'm not up and running yet. I don't have any video.
Mr. Rigsby's filling in as our AV specialist.
AV specialist, he is indeed.
I got it started. There we go. You know, on this one right here, do I stop the video on this one? It's not. Yeah.
I make a motion that we adopt the agenda.
Second.
Had a first and a second. Mr. Rigsby?
Well, excuse me a second. I stepped out just to get a notepad. What did I miss? I came back, y'all are voting.
To adopt the agenda.
Rigsby's aye.
Mr. Foy?
Aye.
Mr. Landreth? And Mr. Jones?
Adopting the agenda.
Yeah, that's fine. I hadn't seen it. Do you have it in front of you?
Well, maybe I took
You
yours.
got it right here. It's in your packet.
No, it's not.
You don't have one of those?
Well,
There.
oh, just let me glance at this.
No, I probably took yours. I may have took yours because I was wondering why I had two.
Just always feel like I need to know what I'm voting on.
I thought Robbie was wasting paper.
I am I, Mr. Mayor.
And I also am I.
Mr. Mayor, for the record, I think it's important that we should note that we don't have any town staff members here. The town clerk's not present, that we're going to rely on the recorders to allow the town clerk to write the minutes, and that we have one citizen in the audience.
So be it. Citizens' comments? Karen, don't you want to say something?
You don't want to say something about having a meeting when the ball game's going on?
Oh, my God. Oh, Karen, sorry about that. Okay, consideration of the contract to locate and exercise blowout valve boxes for the for the town water system. This is with A&D Enterprises. I make a motion that we accept their proposal.
I'll second.
Is there any discussion?
Should we authorize a dollar figure up to?
Is that a friendly amendment?
No, it's a question.
Okay, Mr. Mayor, I kind of seconded you awful quickly. Would you like to, for the record, note that the proposal is dated March 28th, 2023 from A&D Enterprises, and that proposal is basically for 2 men, 1 truck and tools, 1 locator for $250 an hour? If you would accept that.
Certainly.
Okay.
Is there a limit on this?
Mr. Foy is asking the question, should we put a cap on this? I think it might be appropriate. And/or should we put some sort of time frame on it, to cover from now until a date in the future?
My thought is they should have 90 days to do this. It shouldn't take longer than that, I can't imagine.
Okay.
Do you have a dollar limit, Mr. Foy?
I believe he said there's 60 areas that they would address approximately. Estimated time per unit is 1.5 to 3 hours. So if I did 2.25 hours times 60 times $250, that's $33,000, $33,750. So I would suggest that figure.
And this has been cleared that we are able to use the funds that we have already available to us to do this. This is not something that will come out of our general fund.
Well, I would rather not make that a part of this motion or discussion because it just doesn't impact the vote. We have to do this, and if we can't, we will use the funds from the most appropriate resource to pay for this, but I'd rather not muddy the waters. If we want to make a motion and subsequent to this,
This is our time of discussion.
I'm for the motion,
We've got the motion.
no doubt, but don't we have to, I mean, we don't, right now, do we have this money in the budget anywhere?
It is money that is in the grant. Mr. Winfrey clarified that thanks to Mr. Foy's diligence.
okay.
And he should be commended for that.
As long as it's in the budget somewhere, we're okay, I guess.
But let me explain what my thinking is regarding this, where the money comes from. I'm concerned that somebody here, whether it be the finance officer, the town clerk, the town attorney, state of North Carolina, wherever, say, well, you can't spend the money for that, and we'll get stopped on this project when we're already behind on it. It's, you know, we're really behind the eight ball. This needs to be done. It needs to be done this summer, and we got a company that's hopefully going to be able to provide the men and resources to do this. And I don't want anything to waylay them.
I understand what
Yeah.
you're saying, but still don't, I mean, are we not legally obligated to
We
say
absolutely
where this
are.
money's coming from?
We absolutely,
Absolutely, but a budget amendment may be necessary for the Water Enterprise Fund. We have cash reserves in the bank. Guys, this is deferred maintenance.
I understand it has to be done. It's not a problem with that. I'm
Okay.
saying legally, accounting wise, do we not have to, I mean, Derek, you're probably going to have to help me on this one. I just want to do it right.
Your point is, before the money's obligated, you want to have the source of the funding
Absolutely.
out of the budget. I think that's a very good point.
And we're obligating $33,000, so we should have a place there. I mean, I mean, it needs to be, we got the money, I guess, in the other,
the money's in the budget to expend all of the House bill money, which is 1.1 million, which obviously we would not do. So the money is in the budget to cover $33,750.
okay, so then that's what we need to say we're gonna do.
I agree.
And do it.
And all that
I'm
is
all-
a
we need to do it,
discussion.
No
This is-
doubt.
This is not part of the motion. This is just general discussion. We know where the money's gonna come from.
Well, you gotta put it in, you got to say where the money's coming from.
Exactly.
I mean, we can't spend money that's, you know, it has to be budgeted.
I have a motion.
All for doing it, and I'll tell you what, I'll meet within 2 hours if it's an emergency if somebody changes where we can't use it, but I mean, if I'm wrong, somebody tell me, I'll back off.
You are spot on, Jimmy. I'm ready to vote and approve this.
Yeah, if we have it in the budget, let's just vote and go.
Further discussion?
All right, would somebody read the motion for me again then?
The motion is to accept A&D Enterprises' proposal for maintenance on our existing water system for backflows and valves.
Dated March 28, 2023. Is there a cap of $33,750? If there is, that needs to be part of the motion.
And where the money's
Will,
coming from.
with a cap of $35,000.
Okay.
Any discussion?
And
Add one thing. Using the funds from the state grant, House Bill 1163.
I accept that amendment.
Okay.
Any further discussion? Mr. Rigsby, Hold on.
I didn't second the amendment. I have the second on the motion.
I believe Mr. Landreth has the second, but that's okay.
Not
actually,
to my-
Tim did second it,
Okay.
but I'd be glad to second all that if he don't want to.
All right.
Okay. I'll second that. I'm scared we're gonna wind up jammed up yet again. All right, thank you all.
Mr. Rigsby.
Aye.
Mr. Foy.
Aye.
Mr. Landrith.
Aye.
Mr. Jones.
Aye.
And I am also aye.
Tim, we have an email where the attorneys authorized that it would be proper to use the grant money for this.
Yes, thanks to Mr. Foy. Mr. Foy did some digging. He is to be commended.
I did read the email, Mr. Foy, and I stand by my points.
Okay, consideration of Kennerly Engineering to submit request for proposal, RFP, for the construction of a water main extension on Ellisboro Road between Cornelius Court and Highway 65. I make a motion that we do adopt this.
Hold on, Mr. Mayor, I've got a motion written out.
I'm sorry, go ahead, please.
We're not gonna do that again. I make a motion for staff to review water line design from Kennerly and Kennerly Engineering to make sure they meet the town's intent of connecting the water lines between Cornelius Court and the water terminus on Ellisboro Road in front of the new by right. That staff should reach out to town council members if they have any questions or need help with this. Furthermore, upon review, secure the mayor's signature and submit the signed plans to Kennerly Engineering so they can submit the application to the NCDEQ and NCDOT for approval. Upon approval from both agencies, authorize Kennerly and Kennerly to conduct a round of RFPs from construction vendors. With the above, the final $3,950 obligated to Kennerly and Kennerly would come due.
I'll second the motion if you'd repeat that number so I can be sure I write it down, Mr. Foy.
$3,950.
$3,950. Thank you, sir. I'll second the motion.
I might add a friendly amendment that should negotiations be needed, that Mr. Foy and I, as the mayor, will handle those negotiations.
Sure.
I'll agree to the amendment.
I would disagree because I believe Mr. Winfrey informed us that two council members or more would constitute a public meeting. So,
No, he corrected that.
did he correct that?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure, but okay,
Well, dang, I hate to resign on that, but.
just want to make sure.
Say it again, Jim.
Oh, nothing, I'm just mumbling.
Well, we can't pick up mumbles in the minutes.
All right, they don't need to be in.
Mr. Landrith was mumbling.
All right, I'm an aye.
Mr. Foy?
Aye.
Mr. Landrith?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
And I'm also aye.
I have one more motion. I make a motion to authorize Finance Officer Kim Thacker to file for reimbursement from the state using grant monies from House Bill 1163 in the amount of $18,000. This reimbursement covers the engineering fees the town has expended or obligated on the before-mentioned water line extension.
I'll second that.
That was 18,000 even.
Yes, sir.
Okay, the motion's been seconded. Would you expand on it, explain to me what you're doing here, please?
Kim would submit the invoices and the scope of work to the state budget office in the amount of $18,000, and we would get that as part of the House bill.
Okay, and that was House Bill what?
It's 1163, I believe.
Sounds familiar.
Is there any further discussion? Mr. Rigsby?
Aye.
Mr. Foy?
Aye.
Mr. Landrith?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
And I am also aye. Citizens' comments? Karen, here's your last chance.
There is something I want to ask council about real quick here.
Please.
Staff can find 3 copies of the original water system installation plans. 2 of them are as-built plans indicating this is what we actually installed. I believe at the moment there is at least one other copy in Yates, being held by Yates Construction for their use working for the town. And communicated with Hazen and Sawyer. I think they may have a copy and may even have it available electronically. My opinion is that there should be 3 copies in this building at all times. One one, should never leave the building, and then two, for an emergency would be a bare minimum. I don't know what the rest of the council might feel. They might think one copy is enough, or we might need 20 copies, but just making you aware that we don't have an abundance of these things.
Okay.
Any further discussion?
I think having multiple copies would be prudent.
Let's set it at 3 then, as Mr. Jones recommends,
Yeah, I mean,
with one staying in the building at all times.
Well, do we need to vote, or we've got, the staff got enough money,
It's actually not an
authorization to make copies or do whatever it's gonna take to get us? I don't have any idea how much this will cost to get some made, is my problem
Yeah,
here.
we can just get, we can get some copies made, there should be money in the budget in the office, you know, for that, without having to vote on it, I mean, that, just need to make some copies.
Okay, just, letting y'all know, thank you.
And we don't have it on we shouldn't be voting on it anyway, we're in a special call meeting.
Do I have a,
Well, let me address Mr. Lander's statement here. Our A&D Enterprises has got to have a copy of those to take out into the field to locate the blow-offs that they're gonna be working on. There's no way around it. So we have 2 as-built copies in the building now. When they take one out of the building, we'll have one left. So it is germane to the vote we just made for A&D Enterprises. It's relevant, and thus I feel it could be addressed on the agenda here. Y'all just blew into the other agenda item before I could get you stopped. But whatever council wants to do, fine by me. I'm just letting you know, we're running a little low on them.
Well,
okay, so we're authorizing the staff to have an additional copy of this made and for it to stay in the office or in the town hall at all times. Am I correct?
I don't know what the motion should be, Mr. Mayor. I'm informing council of what I see as a problem. I don't know what the solution is.
I don't know that there needs to be I don't know that there needs to be a motion. I'm just thinking that this would be an instruction to our staff to make an additional copy.
Mr. Lander seems to feel like that staff's got enough in the budget to do it. The question is, how many copies do we order them to make? I guess just leave it up to their discretion, or we authorize the mayor to take care of this.
is it gonna cost over $250?
I think it's very possible.
Oh, really? Well, then, yes, that might be different then, if you think it'll cost.
Let's
I
ask,
mean, we charge $0.25 a copy for the copies that people leave this building with.
Yeah, but they
Let's-
don't
let's ask-
cost us but about 4 to 6 cents apiece.
let's ask the staff to get an estimate on Monday, and if it's gonna be more than 250, we can add it to the agenda on Thursday to authorize some additional monies.
I don't object to that. My question is, can we inform A&D to put us down for next week if they've got the time to get started?
Well, Mr. Mayor, I'd be glad to send him a text message, give him a phone call as soon as this meeting's over, just to let him know that we have voted and approved this, and then the ball would be in his court.
That's good. That's good. Any further discussion?
I mean, if you want to authorize, I mean, what do you think? I mean, ballpark, authorize a little bit more and let's get it, let them do it. And if we don't spend it, we won't spend it. We ain't gotta spend it. And we won't have to worry about it.
I make a motion that we authorize our staff to spend up to $500 to make an additional copy of our, Mr. Jones,
Our as-built water system plans for the initial installation. I will second that motion, Mr. Mayor. Let's, if I may, suggest that a minimum of 3 copies in the building is what we need. We have 2 that we make. Let's just go for broke and make 3 more.
So the total number of copies you'd like to have on hand are?
I would like to have 5 copies in the building right now, and we have 2.
I accept that amendment. Any further discussion? Mr. Rigsby.
Aye.
Mr. Foy. Mr. Landrith.
Aye.
Mr. Jones.
Aye.
And I am also aye. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn, second.
Aye.
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 Aye. Aye, aye. Thank you, audience. Where are you headed?
Let's see, our meeting's over at 7:18 PM.
Something to do this week?
Thank you for filling in over there, Mr. Rigsby.